Hello, folks. It's January 13th, Monday, 2025. A little bit of a USDA update, plus a couple more items. First thing, if you grow alternative crops, specialty crops, please sign up for that. If you have not already, that specialty crop program, I forget the name of it. The deadline was the 8th, but I believe they've extended it, so please sign up if you haven't. I don't know the exact formula on how they come up with the payment, but it's worth your time, or it should be worth your time. I believe it includes hay, potatoes, grass seed, etc. So, not sure which one hay falls under. I might be mistaken on hay. As far as the other two programs, I believe the aid payment, the direct aid payment, has to be submitted by the 20th of March. I have not heard a peep about it, or if we have sign-ups, or if they just send it. They have all the data, so we may not have to sign up for that one. If they do, I will certainly let you know. The secondary program, which is the larger program, is I believe is based on the ERP program. And I believe there will be a sign up for that. It has not launched yet. And I don't know the exact parameters of who qualifies, who does not. It's more phrased as a disaster aid for 2023 and 2024 crops. Most of us, seems like most of us in most pockets of the country are going to qualify for that, but we'll see. A lot of the Midwest corn, the central corn areas had record yields both years, so they may not. We'll see how they come up with the program when they do. We won't count that until it shows up, right? Okay, so USDA, the big news was the big corn cut and yield of 3.4 bushels an acre. That lines up with the basis better, and futures had been acting pretty good considering how big of a crop it was supposed to be. What frustrates me is last, May, June, July, when we're looking at the new crop estimates, when everybody focuses on that new balance sheet they send out, it was 2.3 billion bushels, and for a U.S. carryout, and that's a big number, and that scared everybody to death. The corn market dropped below $4 for a time based on those numbers, and then here we go. We find out now we're down to, instead of 2.3 billion, we're down to 1.5. So the market probably had no business going below $4. It's very frustrating, especially when inputs are so high. Everybody needs cash flow. You end up with making sales just for cash flow reasons at a depressed market that probably shouldn't have been depressed in the first place. So the U.S. is really the only place you can buy corn. I mean, if you're an importer, it's here or nothing until the South American crop, the second crop, comes off, and that's hasn't even been planted yet. So anyway, this is the world we live. The wheat side, the frustrating part of that is they bumped the winter wheat seedings 2%. That doesn't make any sense to me. The economics of wheat last fall was probably the worst I've ever seen it in my lifetime, and everything else was a little bit better. So the largest loss, if you're going to plant something, would be wheat. Canola had a better economics. Corn and beans certainly much better. Doesn't matter what you find. It doesn't matter what you find. It's got better economics than wheat did. Yep, they've got a 2% increase. My theory is they're looking ahead at the balance sheet and they see the pace of demand this year, and so they're trying to front run next year's balance sheet, because that's the only way they're going to make that work is to front run it and try to get ahead of it. So that's my assumption. But the 2%, that's hard to take. I struggle with that one. One of the last thing on the USDA, I guess I didn't touch soybeans. Soybeans were 50.7. The yield was down 0.6% or 0.6 bushels an acre. not a big deal. The bigger deal, it's not why the market's moving now. The market's moving now because there's a dry stretch in South America, and China continues to buy beans from us. I was encouraged. I sent a text recommendation today you should have gotten, and my next target's up around $11, 10.90, something like that. That's the next area of resistance. We get there, you'll probably be getting some more recommendations. So it's encouraging to see today's close. It looked pretty good. But really the story is the dryness in Argentina, and we'll see how long that continues. They did get some rain over the weekend, not a lot, but some, and they're certainly in need of more. They got another month and a half of, important weather to go. So the other part about the USDA report was the white wheat carryout. They dropped another 10 million bushels. They've got their number down to 70, which puts my number, the realistic one, at 50. And that's getting there. If we're at 50, right now our basis is 40 over, 45 over. And at 50 million carryout, we should probably work our way this winter and spring up to about plus 70, plus 90 on the basis. We got to get down to 30, 40 million bushels or less before we get into that $1.30 range, what we're used to. So, don't know if we'll see that this year or not. We'll see how the sales go. As far as Portland prices go, corn is running $6.30 a bushel right now, $6.35. You've got white wheat at $5.90, so we're definitely priced to feed, and we'll see if we work our way out of the feed channel or not in the next few months. Speaking of white wheat, speaking of wheat in general, given the input costs, given the way everything is gone, it requires so many bushels to pay an average bill right now. What you're finding is growers are, that surplus we had to start this crop year is gone. From the survey of elevators, or the ones that will visit with me, it sounds like most elevators are between 20 and 30% marketed. So that means the large majority, the herd, as you want to call it, as I want to call it, is already moved. And any year that you've had bushels that you avoid the herd is usually the right thing to do. If they're not selling at harvest, you need to sell at harvest. A lot of times I fight myself on that one, and then if I don't go through with it, then I wish I had, or I wish I had done more. And currently the herd is moved. So that's encouraging. That's very encouraging. That should hold white wheat levels at least pretty low, and I assume that goes across the board for most wheats. Northern Plains may be the only exception. That group tends to find ways to stash wheat in the back corner and forget about it until the price rises. So, but that's encouraging. That's about all I've got for now. I don't know. Today wheat was up 14 cents, and I don't know what changed the fund's mind. The dollar was up. I don't know if they're slowly starting to wonder if the dollar's topped out, maybe. We hit that 110 level on the index. The index isn't a very good gauge of the dollar, but it's an easy one to track. We'll see if that holds for now, see if we get some follow through the downside. But anyway, overall encouraging. It's encouraging to see. The charts haven't all turned the corners yet. Corn looks the best. Kansas City wheat looks the next best. Chicago wheat and soybeans are they're coming along. Soybeans did have their highest close since early October, so that's encouraging. We'll see if we can follow through with it yet. I guess all the markets, the one I don't believe in the most is soybeans, and maybe that's the reason it's going to keep rallying. And so that'd be exciting if it does. I got plenty to recommend to sell if we do. So anyhow, that's about all. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'll email it if I think of it. And if I get any more news on programs, I'll email it. And in the meantime, we're done with reports. Trump administration starts in a week. We'll see what see what he wants to do right off the bat, or what he can do right off the bat. And, you know, going to be interesting to see. I'd like to know if tariffs are set. You know, is that something a president can do, or does it have to go through the Congress routine? I don't know. So, anyway, have a good day. We'll be sending a report out probably Thursday. My new text system will launch sometime this week. I don't know what day. So you'll get stuff from a different phone number, but I'll send out an email ahead of that, so that way if you don't get a text, you need to alert me just to make sure I know. So anyway, have a good day.